You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Wepa, what up, man? This is your boy, Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders Podcast. And today, we have a awesome, dynamic, creative duo over here. Let me tell you. First, let me introduce them. First up, and then put them on screen. There's two of them right now. First up, this person, started as an animator for some dope shows, right? Over the last 2 decades, he's, been doing some other business. He's a writer, he's the producer, and he's got a dope comic book out. Coming out with his partner, right? Because his partner is also an amazing creator. They got a dope ongoing series that's all sci-fi. This dynamic duo, let me introduce the ones, the onlys, Mr. Author, Ebuen and Dave Law! Woo! What's poppin', muchachos? How you doing?
Hey, I love your intro.
Great intro.
You guys are saying, man, the Ultimate Creative Duo, they got a fantastic project that is coming, folks. All right, to Kickstarter near you. It's just, a .com away. Don't you worry, we're going to give you some links in a minute. But, let's talk about these muchachos that are here today. So let's start with Art. Art, a bit about yourself. Tell us where you're from originally and what was your first love in fandom?
Oh, man. Let's see. My dad was in the military, so I was born in Italy, but I was raised here in San Diego. Lived in LA for about 6 years doing my career in animation. Moved to Boston to go study illustration, animation. Graphic design and advertising and photography. Did that advertising for the last 17 years. And I'm now doing a video production with an awesome production company out here, doing writing and producing. What started the fandom? Oh, man, my brother was really big into comics. And my buddies will make fun of me about this, but I had massive long boxes full of comics. Never read them. I had them just for the art. Dude, I would just pour through them and look at the art, just kind of copy Jim Lee, copy, McFarlane, just kind of everybody, and just sit there and just study that. And then I started reading like mid-20s. So tons of comics, never actually read them till later.
Too funny. But you still kept them though, right? The OGs.
Yeah, a big chunk of them I still have. I got actually, my buddies who made fun of me, I just one day said, hey, I have too many comics here. I kept some keys, said just have at it. And they were just, it looked like a Black Friday. They just all start jumping on each other, digging through the boxes. And, it was cool though, because they're some of my best friends, and they got some really good books out of me, and then I got to clear up my closet a little bit. But I started collecting in recently. Yeah.
I would have recorded this. Oh yeah, I would have put a key up tied up in the ceiling with a ladder. I was like, yo, we get a ladder match, fellas. It'll be fun. So Dave, a bit about yourself then. OG background and what was your first love?
Oh, man, like I like illustrating.
You sound like Megatron again now.
Oh no. Let's see here. How's that? Is that a little better? Or, what about now? Does it still sound
what's going on?
like I don't know what's going on? Oh, weird. All right. Why don't you come back to me?
Wait, what you did there?
There we go.
Did I fix it?
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There it is.
Cool.
There we go.
All right. So, I've been illustrating for probably about the past 6 years. Up until that point, I was doing like a normal working stiff kind of a job, doing sales. But I always wanted to draw comics. Even when I was a kid, I got my hands on some early issues of X-Men. I remember my cousins, they just had they were like the issues they were bored of, and they were just like tossing them away. And I totally looked up to them, and they gave them to me. And I remember just like, they became like my treasure. I just looked at them all the time. I really couldn't tell you what the story was, because it's like art. It was really I was really just about the artwork. But I loved it, and I remember I would copy pictures out of it all the time. There was a Jim Lee run, and I still really dig his art. I always think his stuff was really groundbreaking and really amazing. And so that was really where, he seems like a really cool guy. I haven't met him yet, but everything I've seen and heard from him, I've sat in a couple of panels from him, and he always has really insightful, cool things to say. How's that?
In a funny way, because I didn't approach him as a fan, because he was wearing an LA hat, and I met him here at New York Comic Con, at a party. So I just look at him and he's wearing that hat. I told my boy, watch this. I just go to the meeting. I don't say nothing. I just stand behind him with my drink. I said, sir, I think you're wearing the wrong hat, for where you at right now. He just looks up at me. He's like, yo. I said, I'm just kidding. He goes, that's funny. I was like, what the hell's going on?
That's funny.
Yeah, but he'll remember.
That's cool.
Then we just chatted for a bit. He was really down to earth, man. Real cool dude, man. Real cool dude.
Yeah,
right on.
Yeah, he seems like it. I feel like if you were to meet him, it would be best to do it outside the comic book sphere, because I think within it, he's such a mega star that you're just gonna it's like white noise. I feel like I'm just bothering him, so but yeah, I've definitely listened to things he's said and read interviews and things. He's always just said things that struck pretty true and made a lot of sense to me, and it always inspired me. So that was definitely my first love of comics, and because I kind of grew out of the superhero thing, I got sucked back in with Sandman and Tank Girl. Actually, those two were pretty formidable books in my youth, and
are you a good?
I thought they were just so. Yeah. I love the music and I love the art. I was like, oh well, that was it's like they made that for me. I really loved Blur, and then that came out. I was like, well, this is perfect. And up until then, and if someone were to be like, oh, make a cartoon band, I would have been like, no, that sounds so stupid. That'd just be, I couldn't visualize it or hear it or see how that could have been possibly done. And they really pulled it off. It's one of my favorite projects.
Yeah, it's dope. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he is really cool. So he's another huge influence on me, and that kind of made me realize that comic books didn't have to be about superheroes, and that was more of an interest to me at that time too, and that's been since. So,
right, but so did you have a tribe? Growing up, that was in tune with your family, or were you a lone wolf?
Oh yeah, well, definitely that second coming with comics. I had a comic shop that was across the street from me, and yeah, I lived in the city. I lived in San Francisco, so yeah, but I had kind of fallen out of comics at that time. I went in there because I would go to the laundromat next door. I was like, well, I'm bored, so I walked over to the comic shop, and it had just changed ownership. So it was it was super. Not the kind of store that you go whoa, it looked like it was this dude did just buy this shop. It's clear, but he was super excited about comics, and he we started talking. I kind of told him how I used to read the superhero stuff, but not anymore. And he suggested I read Sandman, and after reading that, I was like, my eyes were open to how comics could you really could do anything with it, the medium, and that I thought was really exciting. And I saw also that even though there were people doing all sorts of different things with it, I felt like there was a ton of room to do more. It's infinite. Movies, you're kind of limited to budgets and technology that can do things, but comics, one dude could come up with the most amazing thing, and need nobody else to have it come to life. And that's pretty special, I think.
Absolutely, I agree 100. What about you, Art? Did you have a tribe growing up?
Yeah, I mean, my brother and I collected together, like I mentioned, my two good buddies. And then moving to LA and to go study animation, I went to a few smaller unaccredited art schools to kind of build my skill, and found my crew that way, my little drawing crew. And then watching us all kind of grow into the industry. My roommate, he's from my high school. We lived together out there in LA for about 5 years, and it was really interesting. There was a point there where we were in the same building after about a few years of studying, where I was at The Simpsons at the bottom and bottom of the building, and he was on King of the Hill, just one floor above me, and that was kind of cool, like that was
cool.
that's how that one went about, and seeing our other friends slowly
How
kind of
did you
come
even
up
land that opportunity? Jeez, that's pretty
just
cool.
lots of drawing and lots of rejection.
See why you gotta keep
sure.
grinding, folks. Oh, that's fine. So. When did you get the creative spark, though? Or when did you like decide, say, okay, I want to do something serious with my life in regard to the arts? When did that moment happen?
I would say early on. I never thought that. I mean, so immigrant family, right? It's, oh, you like to draw? Why don't you be an architect? It's like, no, I don't want to be an architect. And I always told my parents, I'm gonna go, draw for Disney or something. And my parents couldn't understand. They're like, Disneyland? I'm like, no, Disney, not Disneyland. And then like it was always a hobby to be an artist. It's just something. I know it's kind of an immigrant thing that we all kind of dealt with, and it's like it's a hobby. Like, no, it's a career choice. And so not until they saw my name in the credits at the end of the first season of Futurama, they're like, oh, you're not just doodling. I'm like, no, I got money for this.
Have I not been trying to tell you for all my life already?
Right. I mean, from animating to advertising, from graphic design through becoming an associate creative director to writing, it's I can't imagine a life where I'm not making something out of my own head based off of what people are talking about, and just kind of sitting behind the desk and pushing paper. No offense to my wife, but yeah, she says she enjoys that more than what I do, because she says I can't come up with ideas and then deal with like people saying, oh, I don't like that. And I'm like, I'd rather do that than kind of, and there's security in different ways, you know what I mean? So no offense, no one's better. It's a different lifestyle that I can't imagine not making stuff. And I got 2 of my 3 kids are very much into drawing too. My third one, I think I think she's going to be a performer, and I'm going to foster it, but not force it on them. So, I'll be there for them, whatever they want to do. Right.
Oh, that's the way, let them write it out, with caution, of course, and guide them in the right path. And that's that. That's what you want, but I got you. How about you, Dave? When did you get that creative spark and say, "Wepa, I want to jump in, dive in, and show them the justice that law brings"?
I dipped my toe in after college and got like shopped a portfolio around for a while and got my skin was so thin at that time. It was like someone like scratched it. I was like, oh, I'm done. And I didn't come back for a while. Like I said, till maybe 6 years ago. My career was pretty cool. I was enjoying it up to a certain point, but I was definitely getting burnt out on it. And I didn't even I wasn't even considering really changing it. I just kind of assumed this was just the way life was going to start going. But my wife, she's amazing, and she's like noticing that I'm not who I used to be, I guess. And she was doing better with her career, and she was like, you know what? Maybe now's the time to take your comic book thing seriously. You've never really. I always would include that as the thing that I would like to do, or if I had the time, I would want to do more of. So she knew that's like always been my kind of dream, but it was becoming just that, like a dream, and I think she recognized that it was time to kind of jump, and it was the time's right. So it was awesome, yeah, and so we did it. We kind of figured some stuff out, made sure the finances worked and everything, and I just jumped in. I found a friend who's been doing screenplays, and asked him to write, like, if he wanted to do a comic, and we just kind of collaborated and started kicking out some ideas, and that became the Space Odditorium, which is the book that I've been working on probably the most up until this point. And we, like with art, me and him have a great kind of chemistry, and creative kind of process is really similar. So it's a very different kind of book than the book me and Art are working on right now. So it's kind of nice to get those different kinds of feelings. But yeah,
you're already touching on it. Let's begin the origins of the bromance here that connected for this wonderful book we're about to talk about, Dave. So I'll start with you. What's your side of the bromance?
Did you say me? I gotta go first.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, so with Space Odditorium, we've been shopping it around. We go to a lot of conventions, and one of the ones we went to was LA Comic Con, and we get a booth, and I stand back there and push our books and some of the other projects I've been working on. I've been doing now like kind of freelance sequential art and illustration for a couple other different projects. So I have multiple books now on my table, and that's what I've been selling. And Art actually just I think he just walked by, and him and his buddy were there, and they were like they have like a kind of an Instagram page. It's like Instagram page, right? You guys have it's almost like a comic convention review suite of social media, right?
Yeah.
Is that and they're just super cool. It's super easy to talk to, and we're chewing the fat and laughing. It was one of those meetings where you're like, oh man, this is just like instantly having a good time. And a lot of the same kinds of things we were into, and he checked out my book. He's really into it, and he walked away. And then I think he came back a couple more times to just like to joke around, give me some more jokes. I think he was checking out my stuff and thinking about whether or not I would be a good fit for his story.
Good, huh?
Kicking the tire.
Making sure I wasn't too much of a weirdo or anything. But I think through the course of the convention, because he was going around and doing a lot of filming and photos, and we would just got to know each other more and more, and he would swing by and talk. And there's definitely down turns of activity when you're trying to sell your own books at a comic convention. Most people aren't always there to see that, so you got it's plenty of time to converse and talk to people. So it's good like that. And the more we talked, the more it seemed to make sense. He gave me a script that he said he'd been working on, and I read it, and I immediately loved it. So it was on like that.
Do you recall it like that, Art?
Pretty close. Yeah, actually, pretty much. It's pretty spot on. Except he didn't hear the music in my head. Like when I first saw his work, you just hear. I'm teasing. No, as Dave mentioned, my buddy Nigel, we go to so many Southern California conventions that we jokingly, with another friend of ours, Rosemary, we started this Instagram page just to kind of document our convention goings on, and then we started like this random blog, and then we started getting invited to conventions as press, and so why not go to a convention for free and cover it, and and then that's an opportunity for us to meet other artists and other people who don't get much publication to just showcase them. So that's kind of what we do is we go to these conventions, we look for some new artist, something, just kind of say, hey, let's spotlight them real quick. And in the process, I've been like, I need to find an artist that I connect with as a person, personality wise, and just, I love their work. And it was 2 years ago, right? Or a year and a half ago, Dave, where we met at LA Comic Con. It was not this past one, but the year before that. And
I think so. Yeah.
I was walking by and I was looking at his work, and I was like, that's a pretty dope cover. Like, let me go chat him up. Had a talk, and like you said, it's like a high school buddy you met. It's like the dry humor just started going, and we got each other. Like, this is kind of cool. And then I was looking at the work, and I was like, this is really cool. But let me just keep walking around, just like, don't fall in love too quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. But just chemistry is what matters a lot too between two artists. Is just the work might be great, but then if you butt heads, it's not going to work, right? So just knowing that we got along and have same sensibilities towards just kind of how we are. I came back a couple times, as he said, just kind of, and then I was like, can I afford him? Is he too busy? So I just kind of said, hey, do you do commissions? He's like, yeah, I do commissions. I'm like, can I commission you to do my whole book? He's like pay me? I'm like, yeah, out of my own pocket. I'm an unknown quantity in this world of writing. So for me to get my book out, I told myself I gotta pay for this right up front. And as a working artist myself, I'm not gonna ask somebody I don't know to illustrate something for free just because I wrote it for free, and then say, let's hope it sells. I know what it's like. I'm not gonna. We can't pay bills with exposure, right? so and then, yeah, exactly. So I mean, I just want to be respectful of his time, because anytime he's working on my stuff, he's not working on someone else's stuff who can also pay him. So, it's just kind of like, let's work this out. I was actually saving for a car for a while, and I decided I'm going to put my money into this book. Is one of those, we've all heard it. If you want people to bet on you, you got to be able to bet on yourself first, right? So that's what I'm doing.
You heard this, folks? He sacrificed his new ride to make the dream happen.
Oh man, it's like I feel like I got some pressure now.
Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? So let's talk about this amazing project concept and all, right? I mean, what was in your head, Art? This is what you presented to Dave, of course, right?
Yeah. So you want to hear more about the story? So I'm from California, raised out here. I went to school on the East Coast in Boston. I visited New York quite a few times. I got family in Florida. And so I've actually driven from LA to Florida, going down the whole southern kind of Bible Belt, right? And
wow.
Yeah, and just having friends from different parts of the world, and specifically the US, they think those of us on each coast, the people in the middle think the people on the coast are really strange, right? Come on, Al. Like we're not like the people in the middle. And
yes, I understand.
And especially
a funny story here, just that relates to that. For example, my brother, has a girlfriend that's from another state, more towards that side, towards middle, and she visited New York, brought her here. You know how we dress in New York, and my brother and his girl like to dress very fashionable, black and all. Yo, she asked him, like, this is like middle of July. Are you going to a Halloween party? And they're like, no, what is it? Then why you dressed like that? They're like, oh my God, yo. So there you go, folks.
Like that's called drip, right?
Yeah. Oh man, crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, and it's not that any point of view is wrong. It's just different, right? But it's funny then when I moved to the East Coast, just thinking about how people thought of us in California. We all surf, we're all vegan, we all do yoga, we all think we're politically correct. And so my idea is like, well, what if California is right? You know what I mean? It's kind of a joke, right? It's kind of a joke. What if we're right? And then there's like a report that says that California, currently, it was at the time I was writing it was 6th, but now we're the 4th strongest economy in the world. And what's stopping us from becoming kind of our own thing is we don't have our own fresh water source. So what if we took over Tahoe? What if we decoded desalination so it's kind of much more eco-friendly and it's actually viable? It's easier to do. And then so what if we closed our borders and we privatized the military, and the best PR in the world is Hollywood, and then we got Silicon Valley, and then so that's all the backdrop, and then you've got all these stories on top of it that could happen, like how did that happen? People who used to live in California were part of the U.S., but also were Native Americans. Like, so their land is being taken away twice now. How do they react? So all these little stories kind of popped up in my head, and watching them kind of interweave over time is kind of pulling me together and making me learn a little bit more about California too. So that's kind of the genesis of it all.
When you approached and read this script, I mean, I know you said you were floored, but wow. I'm amazed myself just listening to this. I mean, even though when I read it, just listening, like, well, all the different options and ways that you could go that are not part of from what I've read it. Whoa, deep.
Right on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I really liked about it too. Is it just had like a different kind of a feel to it than a lot of the stories that I've done up to the time, and I it sounded challenging. It sounded like it was in a future, but not a super distant future. So I like the idea of kind of trying to capture that visually too. So yeah, it definitely was my first time reading it. It did get that vibe that it's like this is a really kind of a different story. And also being pretty much a California native, I was born in New Jersey, but we moved here when I was really young, so it's like I've always felt like I live in California. So it also was interesting, kind of reading a story like this about that.
And look at this cover, folks. Whew, sexy.
Oh, and yeah, Dave just sent that to me. Was it last week, Dave? Like, you got to know, like the thing that brought me onto Dave's work is his cover work. Not that his interior kind of sequential work isn't great, but his posters and stuff, and then his desk is just full of just these covers that pull you in. And so I've been working with him for over a year on this book, and I finally get a Dave cover for my story. Actually, it's our story, excuse me, our story, right? And I'm just like, Dave knows. I was gushing over it over the weekend. I was just like texting, like, dude, I can't believe we finally got like a Dave cover for something that I've written. It's ours. I'm so like, look at that thing. It's gorgeous. It's amazing.
It is. I like the whole look of it with how the lines behind her, so she looks so much. I don't know. It almost has a 3D-ish effect to it.
Right.
If you will.
Right.
Very nice.
Oof.
Where you go, my friend? Again, I got Law bringing the justice. Look, and talking about interiors, look at just a little taste, folks. My gosh, look at these interiors. Look at this panel work. This is eye candy. Moves like a movie, guys. Talk about the page, yo. This is fire,
let me tee it up for Dave real quick. So, I mean, I'm a true believer in like trust the people you work with, trust your partners. And so I wrote the script a certain way. I tend to write full script just because I want to see it kind of built out in my head. But one of the things I said to Dave was like, this is what I think, but also like, you do work a certain way and I'm attracted to your work. I'm attracted to the way you do things. Don't feel like you have to draw it the way I scripted it. Make it better. Show me why what you want to do is better, because I'm sure it will be. And so if you want to, I mean, because this looks way better than what I wrote, although it's a lot of what I had is in there, but it's just like, whoa. So good. Dave.
Yeah, I feel like this one was, I feel like, I can't remember, I've tried to stay pretty close to the script most of the time, but I try to like maybe think and find the creative angles and ways to experience something. And I've always, I've been a fan of movies for a long time and photography. So I all of these elements that kind of go into not only the individual panels, but the page, I like to try to think about and see how they flow. Combat scenes are like, I think one of the most challenging, but also more fun things to illustrate. And this particular sequence had, I think, a lot of things kind of going through it. And so I remember going, wow, this is going to be kind of tricky. Like you got her gun that's not supposed to work, and then she's supposed to drop the clip in her hand and use it as like a decoy and then sneak up on the dude. And I think a lot of the artists that I love when they can combine a lot of stuff into one visual, one panel, and then the change between that and the next. They really load up the action. They load up what your brain puts together as happening. And if you do too much, there's going to be a disconnect. And if you do too little, it's going to be just too many drawings. You might as well do an animation. So it's like that sweet spot in the comic book is what I kind of try to find. And the sequence was, I remember, a challenge for that, but I found it fun and I think it came out I was pretty proud of how it came out too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at this. Again, a change of layout, 3 panels, beautiful widescreen look. Dig it. Yeah, Thank God he's wearing pants. Kind of got me worried there for a moment. Basic instinct.
He's got the skinny pants on. I guess we're projecting out skinny pants, as the future a little more. I think they're kind of going away, but they'll probably be back. They'll be on the return.
20 years from now, just put them away on
skinny jeans.
Hey man, I'm a 90s guy, and I'm seeing my 90s fashion pop up again. So I was like,
Me too. Yeah. I'm all for it. Like baggy pants was like not only good looking but practical. It's just the most comfortable. I regret
not keeping my Carcanais and my kickwear jeans and all that. Damn. Jinkos.
Oh my
Ah,
gosh.
Jinkos, man, those are serious baggy.
You could put a whole iPad back there.
An iPad. And you carry the old school CRT monitors in one of those pants.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
man.
Yeah, so skinny jeans are happening right now in you know, in California. Skinny jeans are back. So,
So do you want me to
this is
go
a,
over
this
the
is
skills real quick? Oh, go ahead.
yeah. You go first, Art.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but so another part of this whole California seceding is what if California was also a corporate nation? And so these are the two founding fathers of California, hence the copyright in California Inc. And so that kind of balances the stories of the action in the military, kind of tactical scenes versus the boring but more geopolitical moves within a boardroom. And you got these two that founded California and kind of helped them break off. And they're kind of partners, but we're seeing here that there's a little contention in what they think is going to happen for the future of California. And we see them here kind of talking things out in front of the board. And we'll see what that leads to a little bit later on.
Ooh. Oh man, look at another crazy again.
Dave went
The way you
off
lay
on
out the
this one.
panels, right? It's insane. This panel layout, and again, look how much stuff is going on.
How did you do
eye
this,
candy
Dave?
and a half, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I got definitely salute your wife for giving you allowing you the opportunity, rather, to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, she deserves that. Yeah. No, yeah.
Amazing, bro. Look at this.
Thank you. Yeah, this one I think Art's direction was to do kind of a sequence of her, you know, getting on the motorcycle and then kind of traveling to this next point, like kind of point that she's going to, so I kind of approached it pretty freeform and went with you know, sometimes you tack a page by just really going through the linear time of the story, you know, page panel by panel, 1, 2, 3, and go. But this one I kind of started with the central image of her kind of skidding out, and then I worked out from that, and so that kind of gave it that scattered look, and kind of a little bit more a little chaotic because she's kind of leaving in this tantrum or kind of this hazed confusion. So I wanted it to be feel a little bit less controlled too. So. Yeah, that was a fun page. I knew I was going to enjoy doing that. I knew I like doing tech and motorcycle and vehicles. I didn't used to, but when I decided I was going to start drawing comics, I was like, you're going to have to like drawing a lot of stuff that you don't like drawing right now. And so like I embraced it. One of them being vehicles, like cars and stuff like that. I really just dug into it and it kind of just really tried to rewire my brain. And it really worked. It worked for me. Like that kind of just doing as much of it as possible. And I wind up really enjoying it. And this bike, I was pretty stoked on how it came out. I wanted something kind of elegant, but also that was capable of traveling through snow and such. So
I like that look on a bike.
And that cool like reverse S or Z kind of traveling of the eye, kind of following her on screen is just it's really just amazing, really well done.
Thank you.
An eye candy of a book, and here we, you know, meeting the cast, right?
Right.
The Christina, right?
Yeah, we didn't go with the one on the left. That was an option that Dave gave us for to consider. She's kind of heading up PR. She might have some motives of her own, but you could see little bits of tech kind of I don't know if you've watched the show Peripheral that's on Amazon. It's very near future with tech looking pretty high tech, but also things looking pretty common to today's world. So we're trying to find kind of that balance as well. So it might look like a late 90s Bluetooth, but it's way more than that she's wearing in her head. Not quite, the dad coming out of the car, hold on, I gotta take this meeting.
Oh man, hilarious. Hey, these guys. So, oh yeah, man. This was like one of the founding fathers or some shit.
Yes, this is Richard. He's one of the two. He's got the silver tongue. He's the one that kind of is the face of the two. He does a lot of the talking, and he does the selling, he does the convincing, he makes sure things happen. He's like us. He's a producer. You know what I mean? So he gets stuff done by talking through and making sure people are bought on and making things happen that way.
Guys, I was about to say, with Richard being his name, intentionally, is he the dick of the book?
Maybe. there might be some undertones. I think he might have caught on to something.
Hey, Marcus Evans, and who's Marcus?
He is the other half of the
other
two founding fathers.
Right.
Yes, he's the brains. He's the one who figured everything out. He's the one who knows how to make sure everything actually works. That Richard sells, And
so, do we find out that story though, of how they even met, their bromance, if you will, to even concoct, such an idea?
That might be later on. This first.
So we're gonna go right into it.
Yes,
in the midst of it. Okay.
Yes. So right now we have the first 4 issues completely written, and the story doesn't quite cover that. It covers there's like 3 storylines that kind of interweave that you'll see.
Ooh.
You want to talk about Vesta a little bit here, Dave?
You talk about her. Well,
she's kind of the media darling, they follow her throughout her missions and with the CCTV drones to help kind of continue to build internal patriotism for the corporate country and glorify what she does to help kind of keep the borders safe and keep California within itself. So using her talents and all to kind of just, keep us proud of being Californians. But she starts to struggle internally about what she's actually doing versus what she thought she was doing, what it actually means in the end.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be a nice, thick, fun plot, folks. That's what you guys are going to be getting into. And this is what you do. Because I got something else to show you where you guys are going to be signing up, as a matter of fact. But if you want to follow him on Instagram, it's Californian Comic, right?
California Inc.
California Inc. Comic, and then CaliforniaIncComic.com. That'll take you straight to the Kickstarter. That's right, because right now you will get notified, folks. Let me present you the screen, because now this has another dope piece of art on it. Let me tell you. All right, check it out. Wait, share screen. Technology, folks. Excuse me. Boom. And back. Look at that. This cover. Oh, that piece of art right here. Isn't that fire?
That was the first thing Dave showed me that he did for the comic, and I was floored. I was like, it's coming to life. It's coming to life.
Well, this is the first piece you saw. Is that why you chose this kind of to be the first image you share?
Yeah, it's just such a nice opening shot. As soon as you fold it open, that's the first thing you're gonna see, and it's just amazing.
When I was a kid,
I just say, oh shit. Oh man.
When I was a kid, we would go up to Tahoe to go skiing. That was almost primarily when I would go up to Tahoe, was just to go skiing. So when I was reading the script and he was telling me about it's all about a lot of the setting is in Tahoe. My head is immediately cold and winter and snow. And so when I read these opening pages, that's all I was envisioning was this gusty winds and the snow just kind of blowing around and the blue sky and white backgrounds. And so, I was pretty excited about kind of getting that look through it.
That's true. That's right. Because I remember you calling me, we're talking, you're like, I think I'm going to make this happen in winter. And I was like, didn't think of that. And I was like, show me more. And he did. And I was like, whatever you're doing, I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to get in the way. That's just, it just totally worked.
Are you guys near each other or got to work, remotely from one another?
I'm in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm in San Jose. So we're on the, I guess you'd say, polar opposites of California.
Oh, okay. So got that New York to Florida kind of joint.
Yeah.
I done the New York to Florida, and I wish that was an 8-hour drive.
Yeah,
not at all.
But the one you did is pretty across. That's insane. All right, so what is the expected launch of this dope project?
I'm pretty sure, Dave. I don't think I think we unofficially talked about it, but I'm not going to hold. So I'm officially telling you we're going to launch on February 6th.
Oh, snap. Exclusive, folks, February 6th. You heard it here. Then the drops to get them that money. Make it rain, make it rain. Please. So can you tease a little bit about, if people pitch in, can you tease anything that, if they pitch in, you could get tiers and whatnot? Now, I'm not talking about money wise, but, like some cool giveaways that if they contribute.
Yeah, for sure. We have a few things. Like I said, bet on me first and bet on us first. So we've already got a few of the products made that come with it. So there's we have 4 variants. On top of the cover you already saw, we have 4 more variants. One more Dave did, one that I did, one that Don Aguilo did, and then another one by Andrea Nudi. He's done a lot of things for Dark Horse.
I spoke to him.
Yeah, super nice guy. Yeah, so he did a variant cover for us. So you have those options. We have a couple of pins of just the bear within the California Ink logo. So you have 3 variations of that pin, like an actual enamel pin. And then, so we're trying to think of creating merch that's in world. So the pin you would think that someone in corporate would wear in the California Ink world. And then the actual patch that Vesla wears as General, there's a backstory where she's private, but as General Vesla with the 4 stars, we have a patch for that as well. And then a few more things like, depending on what you want to do, we have you could get a signed script, of the comic. You get signed variant, and then there's a very high tier where you can get your own piece of commissioned artwork from Dave. But he'll knock that out for you. And it's. I mean, I'm happy to get a Dave sketch, which I've got 24 pages plus a cover. So I mean, Dave, do you want to talk more about your commission kind of thing?
Yeah, I like I said, I love a challenge, and I like to try to draw things that I've not tried to draw before. So I particularly like drawing people, though. So usually I get a lot of that. The last time I did something like this, I did it for another Kickstarter. Someone asked for like this tree of knowledge to be done in like the cyberpunk style, which I was like, it was better than the last one I did because I was like, I don't know how to do that, right? But it was totally. I think it was my favorite one I did. So it's just like. And it happens all the time, and that's one of the things I think I love about art. Is like so many times I'm like not sure about what I'm going to do, but if you just I approach it with this real intention, and I surprise myself, that's totally addictive as an artist to kind of get you to keep coming back. So I invite people to be creative if they do that tier and take advantage of my willingness to try to draw whatever you want.
I was thinking Mazinger Z. For you as a
thinking what?
Mazinger Z. Do you know that character? Or Transor Z?
Oh yes, I know Transor Z. Yes.
I'm not familiar now.
No. Oh man, please look this up. Classic. Oh my God! All right, please. This is like the parent of like with a robot with a pilot.
Okay, so the precursor of a mech. Oh, okay, totally know that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be sweet. I'd have a good time drawing that dude. I recognize that. It's one of those things that now that I see it, I remember seeing that everywhere. Like I remember walking through like Chinatown in like New York City or in San Francisco, and that's like that stuff's hanging up everywhere.
Everything I was buying all my shit from, well, my parents. Let me get that one. It was always like Transor. I knew him as Mazinger, and but in Spanish, well, I guess that's what they call him over there.
Yeah, when I was there, it was probably all just like in Chinese or Japanese, and I just looked at it and appreciated it and didn't. I don't know. But definitely, it's all tons of it.
But I was eating it up. I don't care what it says. Give me. I had the other one. What was it? Samurai Shoguns, the robots. Remember those toys were made of pure metal. That you could knock somebody out if you threw that at them.
Yeah.
Robots behind him. Ooh, what he got?
I've got
Oh
the
yes.
Oh,
in
it's Voltron
1984.
right there.
This is my actual Voltron that I bought when I was a kid.
Oh my God.
The actual was at
That's
the
pretty sweet.
in the back. It's the
I had one.
GB36. That's how you know it's the real thing.
Ooh.
I had one of
It's
those.
covered in dust. I need to blow this thing off.
Isn't that beautiful? Oh man,
It
yeah, I
is.
got one.
Hold it up a little bit more. Oh yeah, I remember that thing.
This thing
They
is
all come
metal.
apart, right? You got the different. They got the different lines everywhere, right?
Oh yeah, they all.
I'm rebuilding one though, because I had one OG. Parents got rid of it as usual. I found
Yeah, mine too.
then I bought the replica, right? That came out maybe like 20 years ago. So I found an original yellow line. So I took out that yellow. I put the original. So as I find the lines, I'm gonna start replacing them. So I get a full Voltron.
Nice.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need that. I need that,
Makes
and I
us
have
look
to
like-
get
That's
the automobile one too. I have.
That's
to
one of
get
those things. That's one of the early things I remember really wanting, just like really wanting. But yeah, one of the early. Yeah, definitely. That's sweet.
And
Dude, is
when we
that
get-
Devastator behind you too?
Oh, which one?
Oh, replica.
Oh
Which
yeah.
one?
No, that's the reissue. That the Walmart reissue.
Oh, that's cool. Though.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it's like
nice.
legit. It's like legit. It's
Right?
legit.
Oh man, look
Yeah.
at this guy. I
Yeah.
found friends here. Wait till you see my next display. Oh my gosh, don't you worry.
Oh,
got
man, I'm
Optimus.
excited.
I have the RoboSen Optimus.
The which one?
The RoboSen Oh, you know what, guys?
Oh, is that the
Guys,
one that is that the voice
yes, the
activated one?
transforming one. Yes, I have that.
Oh,
Baby.
you got one
Yeah.
of those. It says
Yeah,
you say like, "Hey, Optimus," and it does its thing.
It transforms.
Oh
and,
my
it
gosh.
does phrases. Attack modes and stuff. You could program even more things into it.
Oh, I know you could
Which is
program
cool.
it too. It's amazing.
Yes, you can. Yeah. So it becomes a remote control car when you use a tablet. So you can just have it go around and then have it through a command. Drive and then transform. Which
Whoa.
would be a pretty cool scene, right?
Yeah, and I like how it still looks
Jeez.
G1 too. It's amazing.
Yes, yeah. They produced that one, hoping that it's a success, so that way they could produce another one. Now I really hope they produce a Megatron. The tank version, I guess, is the one we could get. But I would want to see a Megatron like that. That would be so dope.
Yeah.
That's my boy. All right.
I mean, the name is Mega, right?
Hey, Papa, que sepan. That's right, baby. All right. So you said there's gonna be 4 issues. This one is dropping in February, folks. Get that paper ready. All right. Get it ready. Let me say thank you to you guys, though. As a fan to creators, thank you for bringing out your visions and sharing of your vision. Sacrificing vehicles and jobs to make your dreams happen. You know what I mean? Look at this. But this is what it is. This is what working on a dream. People don't become successes overnight. It takes a lot of sacrifice and work. So thank you for that hard work to bring us such joy and entertainment. I appreciate you. Much luck.
Thanks,
on
Al.
this journey,
No,
guys,
that's not
for real.
Thank you so much.
All right?
I appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah. No, thanks for having us on the show.
Oh, dude, you guys rock. So, what type of advice would you guys give then? Also, some young bucks trying to come up in the game now. And I'll start with you, Art, being the vet.
Man. Oh, you calling me the old guy? All right.
Hey, you aged yourself before.
Yeah, I did. Let me pull up my cane here. So I do speak to a decent amount of students when I was in advertising, and one thing I've always said is don't chase money. Like don't look for a high-paying job because you might not be happy. Do what makes you happy. Money will come. Do what makes you happy that you could do right, that you do well, that makes you individual, that makes you special. Do that shit right all the time. Do it real good, better than anybody else. Then people will come to you. It'll take a while, but guess what? When you start getting paid to do something that makes you happy, it's not a job. You're just getting paid.
Yeah. Agreed, 100. But you, Dave?
Oh, that's very eloquently put. All right, I don't know if I could beat that with any advice, but I would definitely mimic those same things, and definitely, because I would say that I have done that. I've changed from doing something that was I was doing mostly for the money and to something that I just love doing, and now that the money is coming in, and it doesn't feel like I'm working. It's still, you know, it just feels like I'm having fun and just doing what I do. So it's a great place to be in. And I try to appreciate it as much as possible when I think about my current sitting. So yeah, I think that's great advice to do. You won't go wrong like that.
You heard it here, folks. All right, these guys are doing it, making a vision come true. That's the real talk. So let me show you one more time, right? The Kickstarter page. All right, so go there, sign up. It's really simple. You can go visit the web page. Done easy. All right. You know what that web page is. I'm telling you. Just follow them. Got all the links everywhere. They're ready. Links are below. Click away. Very simple. All right. And you know when it's dropping. So I'm telling you, they're gonna make it rain. They got cool stuff for you guys. So get ready for this amazing book. I can't wait because the whole concept sounds sick. And before we go, actually, last question. If this could be anything else other than a comic, one day in the future. That's not the plan for now, I understand. But in the future, this could be anything else. Would you like
TV
to
show?
An animated TV? He said TV.
Boom. I was gonna say rock opera, but okay, yeah, that's right. TV show.
I mean, if it's musical, yes, musical, I'll take that.
But I would only want to watch that if Dave is the one taking lead somewhere and singing.
Dude, I could hold it. I could do that, man. I sing in my car
back then,
all the time. I'm really good at it. I know for sure.
You're good in your car.
Yeah.
He's not a bathroom singer. He's the car singer. All right.
Right.
Oh yeah, totally.
I bet
The bathroom might sound great with mad bass. You know what I mean? That's awesome. All right, guys. You guys rock, man. I love the energy, man. You keep doing what you do, and everybody that tuned in, thank you so much. You know what it is. Click below. Follow these amazing gentlemen and the project. Follow everything Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. Much love. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Wepa, baby. Woo! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.